Hi, everybody. It's Mary Lynn Harris here of Hard at Work, and we're creating an impactful legacy today with Jonathan. So I'm going to let Jonathan introduce himself, and thank you so much for joining us today, and look for a seat of our pants interview, which will be a lot of fun, right?
No, it's gonna
Yeah,
be
welcome,
awesome.
Jonathan.
Marilyn, yeah, thanks for having me on. I so appreciative. Actually finally getting to engage with you after us being involved in some book stuff together, and so really cool. But really short about me. I'm a motivational speaker, I'm an author, I'm a coach. I do a little bit of everything, and I do it with everything that I have, all of my heart, all of my love. And that's really kind of what my platform is talking about love, kindness, and how we need to lead with love, and how kindness should never be a random act, but how we intentionally interact with people every single day. So that's a little bit about me.
Okay, great. Yeah, I was just thinking this morning about kindness. Where is it? It's lost. Where do we get it? Where do we find it? So that was just what came to me this morning. My meditation was that kindness is lost. I'm like, yeah, just momentarily, but there are a few of us that are still pushing the movement, right? To be kinder every day rather than just randomly. But I think the idea about the kindness being random was just at the very beginning of the movement about getting people to think about being kinder first, right? And so as we've grown through the years, it's sort of like, okay, time to step up,
Yeah, I think it's interesting. We focus on our kids as we teach our children. I have 3 small children. As we teach our children, we teach them that they need to be kind to one another, that they need to care for one another, be patient with one another, right? But then at some point in time, it's like when they get to a certain age, we become so self-focused. We live in a world now with self-ease and self-serve and self development, and this Burger King society, your way, right away, and it's not about anybody else. It's only about me. And I don't think necessarily kindness is lost. I just don't think it's something that we promote as this integral part of our day-to-day lives and just how we were created to be. Kindness is not something that we do. It's what we are. It's how we were created to be, all the way down at a cellular level. And I think it's just, we like to get back in tune with nature. I think it's time that we start getting back in tune with our natural creation, which is to love and care for one another.
Yeah, I liked Gary Vee's post on LinkedIn when he brought up the idea of kindness in business, right? But there was so many people in their thing, I would say about 20%, that don't want to call it kindness. They want to call it empathy, compassion. And I says, well, those are all definitions of kindness, So, so I don't know, what is it that people don't want to be it or say it?
Well, I think there's this idea that it's weak, that it's not strong, that you can't be kind and super successful, that you can't be kind and a great negotiator, when none of that is even remotely the truth. Like I do my coaching and speaking and all this stuff, but I'm also a really successful businessman, and have a role with a global company where I lead the go-to-market strategy for North America. Everything I do is about kindness. It's there's a reason why they say you get more bees with honey, and it's because it's kindness. I think Lou Sal said it's one of my favorite quotes by him. And when you think about it in the context of kindness, he says, when true sincerity is formed within, it is felt from one heart to another. Well, when kindness is sincere, it is felt in someone else's heart, and there's an attraction there. There's a high energy, and whatever energy is the highest wins. And so when kindness is your highest energy, you're going to attract the right people to do business with, the right types of customers, and the byproduct will be success.
It's just like lately, it's exactly what you're saying. It's sort of like calling in your tribe, calling in the people that want to support you in your kindness aspect of your business, of who you are. And it's not just about doing something, it's just being that person, right? That's why you can wear the heart on the sleeve, and that's why it's transferable.
It is. And you know, I talk a lot about love
Mhm.
and love and leadership and all of those different things. And you know, when you really break us down to that cellular level, the people who are the kindness and more and most positive and operate in that energy of love and that space of love, they're typically younger looking. They have better skin. They're healthier. They have lower stress level. They're more successful. They're happier at work. They create happier environments versus on the other side, right? Our cells, and you can look at Dr. Emoto's studies, all of these different things. I actually did a study with my kids, but those that are negative and those people that are negative, that are unkind, that create dissonance and chaos and all of those things, they typically look older. They're more sick. Their cellular makeup, their cells don't reproduce at a high enough level, so their skin is super wrinkly. They get sick. They have higher tendencies for heart disease and cancer and all of these different things. And it's crazy because it's typically that's where we operate in, because we carry ourselves in such a high stress level, all about me mentality. When if we really want a higher quality of life, we want more success, more positivity, more relationships, operate in that field of love and kindness and compassion and empathy, which I think are all separate, but they all connect.
Right.
And just watch how your world changes.
Yeah, awesome. So Jonathan, tell me how you got into doing what you're doing now.
Oh, yeah, it's a great question. Several years ago, it was probably about almost 8 years ago now. I was working for an organization and I was in sales, and I was really successful as an individual contributor. But I just felt like there was something more. And the leader that I had at that time was he taught me a lot of things. He really did. He taught me a lot of things that has helped me in my career. But one of the challenges that he and I had is he wanted me to be just like him. And you know, I tell people all the time, like, you being you is better than you trying to be anybody else.
Right.
And so there was a lot of tension and a lot of dissonance there between us. And so I ended up moving on to a different company. And when I did, I experienced what I thought was great relationships with my previous leaders. They would make up fake email addresses and write horrible derogatory things on the articles that I would write. They would make fun of me. I would see different things posted about me. And these were people that I wanted my life to emulate. I wanted to be leaders like them. And so it really started getting me around this idea of, well, what is really leadership? Because that is not what it is, because that is not who I want to be.
Right.
So I started studying a lot and reading a lot, and started looking at how we operate on a day-to-day basis. And eventually was writing some stuff, was asked to speak. And the first time that I spoke with this at this organization, I immediately knew it was like a lightning strike. Bang! I knew exactly that I was doing what I was created to do. And so from there, it's just been this relentless pursuit towards living out the dreams that I have on my heart, which is to teach and lead and help organizations learn how to lead with love and kindness, and to speak on that all over the world, and write books. I'm about to publish a children's book that should be done, being illustrated, hopefully within the next 2 weeks. You know, I got put in Leah's book in Living Kindly, and I've got another book that I'm currently writing, more of a novel on this idea of micro moments, massive impact, which was what my chapter was about in Living Kindly. And yeah, it's just been this daily pursuit of living to make an impact, and to show people in the world that you can lead with love and be successful in the business world.
Yeah, absolutely. So now you're speaking, and you're an author, and you're leading your children into a life of kindness and love, right?
Yeah, and it's crazy because, you know, I'm not where I want to be yet.
Yeah.
I'm not at that full apex of what I believe my impact looks like when I dream about it, when I think about it. But I'm so enjoying the journey of learning, and you know, so many great things has happened over the last several years, and this year already getting some some great speaking opportunities coming up, and um, it's just one of those things where I believe when you follow your passion and you follow the dreams that have been written on your heart, the right people, the right environments, all of that is going to be added unto you. And so we're just continuing to grind with a little bit of, with not a little bit, a lot of heart every single day towards that dream.
Yeah, no, I think so that is part of your legacy, obviously, is to keep growing and keep going along and impacting your family and friends, customers, and hopefully that they embrace what you're teaching so that they also can lead that out, right?
Yeah, and it's about living it, especially with my kids. It's helping show them that it's not just something we talk about, right? It's, wisdom comes from putting knowledge into action. Just learning this stuff and just having it up here in the head, that does nothing. But when you can move it from the head to the heart, and as my mentor says, you move it from the head to the heart, and then your heart can become your harvest. It's that action and putting that my friend Ryan Hartley says, your heart work, putting that out into the world and putting what you've learned into action, that becomes wisdom. And so being able to show my kids, this is who we are. This is how we live our life. This is how we interact with people. I believe, I'm raising adults. I'm not raising children. So I want them to be incredible adults when they grow up.
Yeah, I'm sure that they will be and are already.
They're pretty cool. They're rotten sometimes, but aren't we all?
Aren't we all? And your perception anyway.
That's right.
So tell me a little bit about your clients and who are they and who do you like to work with?
Yeah, so I really work with a multitude of people. So, I work, like when I do one-on-one coaching, I work with anybody from leaders of organizations, CEOs, people in the startup space. I work with some athletes. And then I also work with individuals who are just trying to figure out what their passion in life is.
Right.
A lot of my clients, and I was meeting with one of them last week, they get stuck in this mindset of wanting to answer all of the societal questions that they think they're supposed to answer. Like, what are you going to do for a living? How much money you're going to make? What neighborhood are you going to live in? What do when in reality, who cares? That's for other people's comfort.
Right.
It's about focusing on what do you believe your impact is supposed to be? What brings you joy and excitement? And sometimes your purpose and your profession, sometimes they can intertwine. Sometimes they stay separate, and that's okay. Yeah. You can chase them both independently and be incredibly successful and impactful in both. And so, I've worked with individuals who are searching for that. And then I'm starting to work with some organizations on, I've been in sales for over 15 years and led sales teams. So I work with organizations on not only leadership, cultural and leadership development, and then also with different sales teams of how we truly learn how to love and care for our customers and what that looks like, what it sounds like and smells like, to help them increase sales and maximize profitability within their customers. So it's a wide range.
Yeah, it's true. It's sort of like back where, it used to be not about the customer, but the profits, right? And I think a lot of that has switched over to be more caring of your customers. And then because of that, they'll become your sales force, right?
100%. One of the things that I go through with my customers, and I'm actually about to launch an online business course that people can take, is what I call learning the wider and deeper business development strategy. And a key part of that strategy is you have to use curiosity, sincerity, and empathy to start learning about your customers goals, challenges, and pains, because
Mhm.
the ultimate responsibility of us as sales professionals are to discover those things and then connect those with the right product, service, or solution that either helps the customer achieve that goal, overcome that challenge, or alleviate that pain. That's what we're there to do.
Mhm.
It's not about me pushing this one product that makes me the most commission.
Right.
That's selfish ambition, and that's what sales has become, but that's not what sales was created.
Right. Exactly. They call them the hunters. I've never been a hunter. I'm sorry. I can't be a hunter here. I gotta go. Well, why?
Yeah.
Why? We really want you on the team. I says, because I'm not a hunter. I'm a farmer.
See, and I believe,
So,
and it's interesting, Marilyn, because I've been in a hunting role
mhm,
as a sales professional my entire life.
mhm,
And one of the things that I tell people is, and there's a misconception, we focus on business development as new customer acquisition. Get this new customer on to the next one, on to the next
yeah,
one, right? And it's this constant churning,
yeah,
when really business development is twofold. It's new customer acquisition, but then you have to move into customer development and penetration. And that's where you build that relationship
yeah,
with the customer.
right.
It's about getting to know them more, becoming a valued asset
Mhm,
to their organization through what you do and the value you bring, right? And so I love sales. It's been
mhm,
something I've been in my entire life. And Larry Levine talks about no more empty suits. He has a book called Selling from the Heart, and Larry's just absolutely incredible. And he and I both believe sales can be a great tool for good when it's approached with the right intention and the right focus.
mhm, yeah, yeah. It's always been that way. You know, in the development of your retention is in when you get the customer. If you want more sales, you have to do the development of that customer. In other words, like you were just saying, finding out what their pains, needs are and serve them in that
Yep.
capacity. And then you're sharing your heart with them, right? So
Mhm.
because of that, you will gain more loyal customers, and they're not going to leave you because somebody else came along with a better price, right? Because it's
Oh,
always
not at
about
all.
relationship, right?
Yeah, that's what I teach. I help walk sales teams through this process of, like, look, it's not just about that one contact that you find.
Hmm.
You need to understand all the different products, services, and solutions that you could potentially bring to that organization that bring potential value.
Hmm.
Find all of the people
Hmm.
within that company that could potentially buy or benefit from one of those products. And you need to be connecting with every single one of those people,
Hmm.
because eventually, like you said, if a competitor comes in and they're like, oh, well, I've got this one great price. Well, you have absolutely saturated that customer with your heart, with relationship.
Hmm.
You become that valued asset to them. They're not going anywhere. They're
Hmm.
not going to go anywhere. And
Yeah.
it's, to me, we miss that because we're often, organizations are so focused on the next customer
Hmm.
that we forget about these valuable customers that we have right here in our hands that we get to care for in a much deeper way. And that's what I help companies see.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like in a deeper way of your customers that you already have. And it's like you're saying, so many companies are more interested in the next transaction. Next dollar sign that's coming in. Why are we
Yeah, and
spending
they
money on these
miss.
companies we already have or businesses we already have? Why would
Yeah,
we
and they
bother
they
with that?
miss that ability to maximize. Like, look,
Yeah.
I get it. We're in business. Business is about profitability. Well, you can maximize your profitability by selling more to the customers you already have. You don't need to just churn and burn through new ones. You need to develop those. And so it's about helping change that perspective, right? Changing
Mhm.
that perception of where sales actually come from. And it's not easy, but nothing great ever was.
Yeah. 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 Obviously. So you sound very passionate about training people and serving people in that capacity of helping them increase their sales, helping them to have a better relationship with their clients. So what else is some of your magic wands?
Oh man. You know, one of the best things that I've learned over my leadership journey and over my life is, and shout out to my mentor Tommy Hunter, is that everybody communicates, but people hardly ever really connect.
Mm-hmm.
And we have such a focus on communication. You know, communication is key. It's this. You know, we've got to communicate. Well, you know, I could drive down the freeway and give people the bird. That's communication.
Yeah.
It's poor communication, but we don't need more communication. We need more connections. And
Mm-hmm.
and so as a leader, and when you go through my leadership training, one of the things that I really focus on is this idea of the 5-minute meeting. That's something that my wife and I learned going through marriage coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Is that my wife and I, we sit down every night and we go through these questions, and it's, well, hey, what is it that I can do to take a burden off of you tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
I love you because,
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of you for,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry for,
Mm-hmm.
and then we end with thank you for being someone I love and respect. And just that little amount of time, my wife and I both go through those together.
Mm-hmm.
With each other, right? Because we're helping connect and then communicate the expectations for the next day of things that we might need or things we're going to act. So there's no more guessing. I no longer guess what my wife needs, right? She tells me, and I create an environment for her to be able to be comfortable telling me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing at how much it just transformed my marriage, that I was like, I wonder what this would look like if I started doing this with my teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just start calling my team members on
Mm-hmm.
Mondays. I'd be like, oh, how was the weekend? How's your family? Oh, Katie, she had that race. How did she do? That was her first college track, cross country meet, right? Oh, that's awesome. Well, really care, sincerity. I'd actually cared about his family. I wanted to know about those things.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because we were taught they were important to him. And if they're important to someone that reports to me, they should be important to me as well.
Right.
So we would talk about those things, and then I would go, hey, and I did this with every team member. Hey, is there anything that I can do to help remove any burdens off of your plate this week? Is there anything that I can do to help you?
Mm-hmm.
And then we would go through that, and I would say, hey, I'm really proud of you for fill in the blank. Hey, thank you for.
Mm-hmm.
There was something I need to apologize for. Hey, I'm really sorry for not getting back to you, blah, blah, blah. Or, hey, I'm sorry I did whatever. And then I would always end it. With my wife, it was thank you for being someone I love and respect.
Mm-hmm.
With my teammates, I would say, and those that reported to me, I was like, hey, I really appreciate everything that you do for our team, and I love working with you.
Mm-hmm.
And what ended up happening, Marilyn, is when I started doing that, my guys thought I was crazy. It eventually got to a point to where I remember one of my guys, if I hadn't called him by 2:00 in the afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
he would send me a text message and say, hey man, are you going to call me and tell me you love working with me today? And we were the most successful team in our organization. We had the largest sales growth. We had, our customer satisfaction scores were through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And it even became something that I started doing with my boss, who I reported to. I would call him and say, hey, how was your weekend? How's your family? How's Jen? How are the kids? Hey, is there anything that I can do to help you this week? Any priorities I can help take off of your plate? Maybe free up some time for you to do some other more important things. Hey, man, I love working for you. Thank you for everything that you do for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, that little thing right there, taking that time to be intentional, to create that space, to create that environment where people feel cared for, they feel like they can share and be open, they can ask for help. Because you actually want to help them.
Mhm.
It will absolutely change your teams.
Mhm.
And that's something that I still do. I still do now. I still do with my family. I do with my kids. I think it's so cool. And at first people are weird because they're like, who is this? Like, what? We've never done this before.
Yeah.
But stay consistent and just show up. It's that consistency and showing up
Mhm.
that will let them see that it's sincere, and
Mhm.
it can change everything about your organization.
Right. So that's your life-changing moment. Profound moment and helping you creating your own legacy. So
Oh my
people,
gosh, yeah.
yeah,
Because I'm a communicator. I love to talk.
right.
Me being intentional, there's a verse in the Bible in James that says, lead with your ears, then with your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Being a communicator, it's really easy for me to lead with my mouth. Taking that 5 minutes
Yeah.
to create that space where I can listen,
Mm-hmm.
that's changed everything about my leadership.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's so powerful. Jonathan, thank you for sharing that. I think I sort of feel that you're moving on to greatness, and the more aspects of your legacy will show up long after you're gone.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's the goal.
Yeah, yeah, obviously. So anything else you'd like to say or before we close off?
If I could leave your listeners with one idea, with one thing to keep in mind,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably my favorite saying.
Okay.
We are all in the construction business, every single one of us.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been given the tools to either build people up or tear people down.
Mm-hmm.
If we want to change the world, it's up to us to really choose our tools wisely.
Great message.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the one you were saying, I'm in sales for the last 15 years, and I'm going, yeah, but we're all in sales. Doesn't matter
Every
what
day.
role you're playing, you're in a sales position.
Every single day, and every single day we have the power to build people up or tear them down. And
Mm-hmm.
you want to watch the world change, start using those tools to build people up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I will. I'm going to start using them today. Thank you, Jonathan, for joining me today. I so appreciate the conversation, and it was a lot of fun. So take care. And in closing, I'm just going to say, basically we have to be kind to each other, because that's all we have is each other. So you want to wear your heart on your sleeve, in your heart, be kind. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll talk to you soon. Love you.